Everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl here, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we like to do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions. Some of our favorite shows. This video, of course, is going to be Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 7, The X-Files. So first of all, before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button. Please click the subscribe button and share and comment. I know I have been gone for a minute, but I'm back now with the video. Okay, I have catching up to do. So of course, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a hiatus from Ready to Love, and I've been on vacation, spring break for the last 2 weeks. My 9 to 5 as a teacher, so I've had 2 weeks off, which is coming to an end. And so, of course, in the middle of my break, there's no Ready to Love. I was going to do a Bel Air video, but I ended up not, just recapping the whole show of Bel Air, but I ended up not having time because then I left out of town on St. Patrick's Day, actually. And so I've been on vacation this whole time. I was able to catch Ready to Love last Friday. However, I was not able to record it because we're at my friend's house. I didn't have time. So now I'm at my sister's house. Super hot in here. Her air's having an issue. Her air conditioner having an issue when we came home from Vegas. Anyway, I'm in Southern California. She didn't know it was going to be 90 degrees. Anyway, so I'm hot and sweaty, y'all. My weave is messing up, but I'm here. I'm ready. I'm trying to catch up. I'm going to try to do 2 videos tonight and finish everything else tomorrow. I'm going to do both Ready to Loves, and I'm going to do Love and Marriage Huntsville as well. Haven't quite decided fully about Marry Me or not. Marry Me Now. It was cool, but I don't know. Maybe a short video on that one, y'all. But let's get into Ready to Love right now. Forget everything else. I'm just glad you guys stay with me, rocking with me. I see everyone still watching the videos, and I hope y'all didn't miss me too long because your girl is back. Okay, I am back. So let's get started. Okay, so this episode was good, especially the end. Okay, speaking of Ready to Love, I see all the Aisha and Dante breakup and all the drama. I will talk about that another time. I haven't taken the time to fully look at all the videos and look into everything. So once I do, then I will discuss it on another video. Not making a separate video of it. I'll just discuss it another time on here real quick. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the episode from really last week, right? Like I said, season 5, episode 7, The X-Files. So the episode opens up with the ladies are back at the wine bar, right? And there, because remember, they left us 2 weeks ago before that with the cliffhanger with the issue with Dakya and Eric. So then Dakia's talking at the wine bar, and she's saying, yeah, her and Eric went to take a photo. They were hanging out with some of the guys. See, Cass hanging off camera again. We didn't learn from DC, apparently. We didn't learn, y'all. Stop hanging out off camera. It always leads to a disaster. Why y'all can't follow the rules? What's the problem? DC, Potomac area don't follow rules out there? I need to go down to the DMV anyway. But anyway, so they went to take a picture. I guess she made a little joke oh, this is a prom photo anyway. And then he was like, oh, now I'm going to show you prom. That's not what he said, but that's what he meant. And then I guess he proceeded to put his hands a little too much on her breast or something. Touched her inappropriately that made the kid feel uncomfortable, and she was like, stop. And so he put his hands down, and she after that I guess didn't feel comfortable with him anymore. I feel like there's something missing. I'm not negating her feelings about the issue, however I do feel like we could be missing a slight piece of the puzzle there. I don't take Dakya as a woman to react that way in that situation. But if she was made to feel comfortable how she was touched, that's how she felt. And she deserves to have her feelings honored. Do not touch women inappropriately, people. Do not do that. Don't touch anybody inappropriately, okay? So I'm glad she spoke up for herself in that moment. But at the same time, I do feel like we're missing a little bit of information there. The story doesn't sound as dramatic as the reaction. Let me put it like that, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm not negating from her feelings in any way. I'm glad she spoke up for herself as a black woman, and I'm glad he took responsibility as a black man. I want to make that clear. I'm not in no way downplaying the situation. I just feel like maybe there's something else happened that we're missing. That's all I'm saying. Let me know what y'all think in the comments though, but maybe I'm wrong. And I know there's more to the story that somebody on their YouTube has a tea. I haven't watched all those videos yet either. So anyway, so Dakya says she wants to continue the process, but she does not want to continue to date Eric. He needs to grow. He has a self-reflecting and all that to do. She don't feel like he's ready to love. Okay. So then Nephew Tommy says, you know what? I'm going to talk to Eric today and address the situation with him. So then Nephew Tommy lets the ladies know, like, okay, like, we're finna make it hot. You're going to take the fellas out and introduce them to your ex. And the ladies are like, oh, no, and Nephew Tommy's like, no, we're not saying you're going to get back with him. But, you know, just to get a different perspective, get that male perspective, see how the fellas deal with meeting your ex. Okay, so then we see Joy go on a date with her ex, Sean, and Laverne and Clifton are coming. I like how Laverne is still in the running for Joy. Oh my gosh. Why we playing, y'all? We playing. But anyway, okay, I guess. Laverne is still in the running for Joy, I guess. I guess. Okay. So anyway, we see Laverne come first, and he's doing his Laverne and Shirley stuff. Anyway, him and Sean seemed to get off on a good note, and Laverne said, yeah, and I saw her in that green dress at the mansion party. It was everything. And then Joy had made some joke, and Sean, you know, he seemed cool. He liked Laverne. Something about Sean gave me territorial. Something about Sean was off-putting for me. Something about Sean I just didn't like. Let me know what y'all think, though. And then Clifton came. Now, Clifton, you know, Clifton is my beau. Clifton was not here for these ex dates. He was not here for it at all. So he was like, well, I gotta do this. Clifton's mentality is like Summer Walker. That's your ex for a reason, though. Okay? And I agree. And so he's like, so what's the situation here? Y'all meet on the holidays, y'all best friends, y'all text, y'all call, what y'all be doing? And so Sean took it as him being jealous. He's like, let me tell you one thing, brother, jealousy not gonna get you far with Joy. And he's like, so you think I'm jealous? And so then Clifton don't appear to me to be jealous. He don't have nothing to be jealous about. I think, like he said, he's dealt with the ex thing in the past, and that could be an issue. I think maybe he had an issue. What I think is that he had a thing with his own ex, and that led to issues in his relationship, so he knows how it can go with exes. So I think he's talking as a brother with experience, okay? So anyway, and y'all, I do have this fan going because, like I said, it's really hot. So I'm going to try to over-talk the fan as much as possible, okay? So anyway, but I'm not trying to be hot dying over here for this video for y'all. So anywho, so then Clifton, you know, he says, you know, what he say? A shoulder to cry on. How did he say it? Someone to lean on could be a dick to be on. Something like that. He said, I get what he meant. Like, he basically said, like, you know, someone could be, you can lean on your ex for vulnerability, and then next thing you know, y'all back together because you in a sunken place or whatever. Like, that's real. That happens all the time. People will go back running, crying to the ex, and the ex is ready to receive them in all the ways. Okay, that happens. So I agree with Clifton. I don't take Clifton to be jealous. What Clifton got to be jealous of anyway? No. Like, I'm looking at Sean, looking at Clifton. I would take Clifton. Thank you. But, you know, Joy liked her some Sean at one point, obviously, right? So anyway, what was I gonna say, y'all? Sorry, I keep moving my hair because I'm hot. So back to the date. So Laverne is talking ish about Clifton. Notice how he always talks bad about the guys, right? And so then he's trying to put Sean on the spot, like, so who do you think Joy should pick right now? And so then Joy's like, well, really don't matter because it's up to her, it's up to me. And Sean is like, well, I know one thing with Joy, like, she gonna make her own mind up. And so Sean feels like Laverne is more superficial. He a lot more substance for Clifton. However, he feels like Clifton comes with risk, and you know, he's working on himself and all this stuff. And so Joy's like, when, you know, I don't take him to be risk, I don't, you know, take him as having baggage. Like, he will step with me when I'm ready to step. And I agree. Like, I feel like Clifton and Joy genuinely, intentionally like each other, and I don't see Clifton switching it up on her unless he really goes for Dakya, okay? That would be the only switch I see, but I don't even fully see that coming. But let me know what y'all think. Anyway, then we do see Nephew Tommy talk to Eric, and Eric explains the same story, you know, about how he touched Dakya inappropriately during the pictures, and he did put his hands down when she said no, and he felt really bad. He doesn't want to hurt people, so he decided to eliminate himself. He said he is not ready to love. He wants to do some self-reflecting and figure out himself, which is good, you know. And Nephew Tommy commended him for owning it and taking responsibility. And he said a lot of people come here, they're not ready to love, so good for you for recognizing that in yourself now. And unfortunately, y'all, Eric had to leave the process, and that's that. And he thanked Nephew Tommy, said Nephew Tommy was a safe space for him. Okay, so then we see Clifton also went on a I'm gonna go a little bit out of order, y'all. Clifton went on a date with Dakya, I believe, and so yes, to meet her ex. Oh, I cannot remember his name to save my life right now. It was in my head earlier. Darn it. Anyway, again, I don't really see Clifton and Dakya as a match, except for they do have a lot of sexual chemistry. But Clifton was like he was like, oh, I gotta be the ex again. Clifton again was not here for this. And then he was like flirting extra hard with Dakya to see how she was gonna react in front of her ex. And she didn't seem to have an issue flirting with Clifton right back for her ex. And he's like, dang, I should have did the same thing with Joy. I'm like, Clifton, you was a mess. Joy love you, honey. Relax. And so anyway, then let's go to Carmen's date. I think that's who was next, y'all. So anyway, go to Carmen. She has a date with her ex, Marcus. He was giving Rick Fox, wasn't he? He was a cute old silver fox. So anyway, Carmen is bringing Paul and Donovan on her date. So Paul comes, then Donovan comes, and Paul's kind of like, oh, what we doing here? Like, it's weird how, like, some of the men act like they didn't know they was coming on these X dates, and some of the men act like they kind of knew. I don't know if production tells them or not. It's just like, let's keep it all the same, y'all. Keep it all the same. So anyway, you know, Marcus is warning them about, you know, you got to be, you know, very strong to handle Carmen's world. She's around a lot of athletes all the time, a lot of good-looking men. You know, you got to be really being able to handle it. And Paul says he feels like he can handle it. He's dealt with that before. He's a systems engineer or manager, analyst, something. I'm not 100% sure what Donovan does, or even if he's ever said it. I'm sure he said it at one point, though. Anyway, Donovan feels like he ain't got to worry about nothing with no other men. He got it under control. Marcus tells Carmen he feels like Paul is a little too reserved and wouldn't be able to handle her lifestyle and her job situation, but he feels like Donovan is more confident and he would be able to. But I think Carmen is leaning towards Paul more, because in the wine bar, she was like, well, ultimately it's my decision. So I think she's more into Paul. And she says she feels that, you know, Paul, in the next episode, you're going to see that she said Paul gives her peace. So there's that too. So anyway, moving on, we had a date with Ace. Let's get to Ace. Yeah, Ace, and she had her ex. He had a difficult first name, but I know she called him Devon, so let's say Devon. Okay, and so he had those blonde dreads. He's cute though. And she brought on Tory and Laverne. And so, you know, Laverne again comes with all his rah. That nobody cares to hear about Laverne. And then Tory, you know, he's more laid back with it. And the ex was asking really good questions, saying, you know, Ace is more of an alpha female. I was the alpha in the relationship. Laverne, you seem like an alpha. Like, and then he asked Tory, like, how would you be in a relationship? Like, would you be more of an alpha or let her lead or what? And he's like, well, you know, I feel like we should be equal. And, you know, she gives me peace and all this stuff. So, you know, he liked that answer. And then Laverne and Ace were having this weird flirty moment, and Tory was like, I'm just going to take a bite of my food. I noticed Tory seems a little uncomfortable when other men are around sometimes. I don't know, his body language. And so anyway, the ex was, like I said, he was asking really, really good questions. And so then after the men left, he asked her, you know, like, who are you feeling the most? And he said, if you want to be led, it would be Laverne. If you want to lead the relationship, it would be Tory. And so Ace was like, okay, give me the answer. She was, you know, she was real pumped up about him helping her give her expertise. I would be interested to know about Ace and her ex's relationship. I'm actually more interested in seeing them two together than seeing her with Tory and Laverne. I'm just going to say it, and I said it, okay? So anyway, then let's see. Let's get on to Sabrina. I think that's the last one we got to do, right? So then we see Laverne. I hope I didn't miss none of the ladies, y'all. I really hope I didn't. Yes. Okay, so then we see Sabrina. She got 3 men's to take on the date. Okay, so she got her ex. Oh, no, Tina. I'm going to get to Tina. Let me do Sabrina, then I'll get to Tina, y'all. Yes, so Sabrina brought on, who did she have on the date? Tory, Demetrius, and Donovan to meet her ex Milton. They had to do 2 separate dates because I guess Milton didn't have time for all that. But y'all blame him because that's doing the most. So first we see him meeting Demetrius, then we see him meet Donovan and Tory. So with Demetrius, he's telling him like, yeah, she's the type she likes to be included in everything. You know, she's really big in her social justice. You're not gonna try to deter her from, you know, really wanting to help people in that way. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, Sabrina. I don't know 100% what she does, but that's really cool that she's involved in social justice like that. And so Demetrius was like, okay, like he's not used to a woman wanting, like having to let a woman in on all the decisions, but you know, he can try to work with that. And very interesting because the next week we see his friend is saying he needs someone submissive. Sabrina, girl, I already told you, Demetrius is not the one for you, girl. He's not the one for you, but you fell in love with that plum suit like all y'all did. I didn't see it for Demetrius from day one, and I never will. But anyway, Demetrius is not the one, y'all. He's not the one. Donovan would be a perfect match, in my opinion, for Sabrina. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though. So anyway, then we see, like I said, Sabrina on the date with Milton was her ex. Her ex was cute. And Donovan and Tory. Tory was very taken aback. He was sitting at just not really present. You could tell he didn't really want to be there. He said he could hide all his feelings with a smile. And on his confessionals, he up there saying like, yeah, Sabrina, she got a connection with Demetrius and Donovan and this and that. Like, kind of was, to me, kind of dogging her out a little bit. Like, okay, we're supposed to have multiple connections on the show. That's what it's called. That's what it's for. That's what we doing out here. So anyway, I just didn't like how salty Tory's still acting. Like, let's let it go. Let's move on. You got other connections too. Like, come on. And so the ex asks, like, do you feel like you guys could really work as a couple right now? And he's like, no, I don't, because we got to both put in the effort and be mutual and all. He has weird round answer. He wasn't trying to ask the ex questions, and he just had a very negative attitude about it. Sabrina was not feeling that. However, Donovan, you know, he was asking questions. When he was asked the same question, he said, yes, I do. See, I would choose her today if I had to. And he's like, it's shocking to say that because it's the first time I said it out loud. Like, Donovan was claiming his, not playing. Tory up here playing. So when the fellas left, Milton said, I definitely could see you with all of them. He doesn't really see Tory as her type. Nobody does. Not shocker here. So he said Demetrius, but Donovan would really be the one to like lead her to the mountaintop. He said it's not even close. I agree. Like, Donovan is a very, very good match for Sabrina. Demetrius is too structured like her, I think, and they would bump heads. Especially, yeah, no. And so I agree with her, Sabrina's ex. I really do. She has a really nice ex. Like, he was really cool about everything. I liked him. So then, let's see. Now we're going to get on to Tina. Tina was the one we was all waiting for because, you know, Tina been, you know, up here saying, oh, my ex was toxic and my baby daddy did this and that and that. So we want to know, well, girl, what happened? What happened? Sorry, y'all keep playing with this hair because I'm hot and it was in my face. So anyway, so Tina brings on her ex BJ, I believe was his name, and she brings on Paul and Demetrius. So Paul comes, and then when Demetrius comes, he's shocked to see Demetrius here there because he's like, I didn't know she had a connection with Demetrius. And so I'm like, yes, Paul. I tell you, you ain't supposed to be trusting them little young girls like that, Paul. So you was warned. You warned yourself, but you wanted you some Tina that bad, didn't you? So anyway, so the ex was, you know, asking them, like, you know, so what makes you ready to love? And they both gave good answers. Paul's ready to shower a woman with the love he has to give her. And Demetrius said he's done his work. And Tina was talking about how she was hard on Demetrius at first. She didn't know if he really liked her, but now he's grown on her. I'm like, if people have to grow on you, it's probably not meant to be. But that's my experience, y'all. Anyway. So also, I feel like Tina is not ready to love. I also feel like she's looking for a husband and a stepdad and stability, and not so much as love. Okay, but that's just my opinion, y'all. I'm giving everything I feel ready to love tonight, y'all. I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back, so I'm giving it all to y'all tonight, okay? So, you can debate me in the comments. No. But seriously, comment what you thought. What y'all think? So, I was gonna say Tina's ex, BJ, they were talking. Oh, Paul asked a question about, like, you know, so was she throwing flower pot? I don't know where he got this question from, but I think it's just because of what she said about the issues she had with her ex. Now, I'm assuming this is the baby daddy ex. It wasn't very clear, but I'm assuming this is the baby daddy ex that she had the toxic situation with. I'm assuming this is the same guy, okay? If I'm wrong, let me know, y'all. So he asked the question, like, you know, what was she doing before? Was she throwing pots and stuff? What happened? And so then he was like, oh, yeah, let me tell you. He was ready to tell it. I was like, damn, he was ready to spill the tea on her. He was like, oh, yeah, let me tell you what happened. So, yeah, she threw my phone and broke it and all this stuff. And, yeah, when she gets mad, she cuts people off because Demetrius was asking, like, okay, when you get these, you know, when you guys get into fights or disagreements, how is she with communication after that? And he said, oh, she totally, you know, cuts you off. Totally cut you off. She's like, I don't cut people off. He's like, no, she cuts people off. So then Demetrius is like, he's like, I don't know. I don't think Demetrius gonna fool a Tina after this date, to be honest with y'all. I think she's a little bit too wild and for him and crazy, for Demetrius. So anyway, and then Tina in her confessionals is like, okay, like he needs to tell the whole story. Like, of course I'm gonna throw and break your phone when you over here hiding in the shower of somebody you cheating with and don't want to be caught and all this stuff. So I would like to hear the full story of really what happened with Tina and her ex. Yeah, I'm sure he did something to make her that angry. I'm not gonna take that away. Girl, you don't gotta break people's phones, but I get why she did it. But you know, come on. Also, she said one thing he said about the relationship back in what she said 2003, 2004, and then she's like, that's high school. Like, if that was the person she was with from high school to like lately, like they had a lot of years together. They were together really, really young. So I could see how they might have went through some toxic situations, and I think Tina maybe is trying to be more grown and mature about things now, and she definitely looks it. But anyway, yeah, it was very interesting. That ex is ready to tell it all on her. One thing Paul said that was very interesting, he said he got good information, but he didn't really get from BJ that Tina is ready to love. And that's just basically what I said. I don't get ready to love from her. I get ready for stability from her, for her child. Also, was that guy and her together all the way from high school off and on until like the last couple years? Like, yeah, I have questions about that whole story. I really do. So anyway, I believe we went through all the dates, y'all. If I missed something, let me know. Let's get to the deliberations, okay? So we get back to the wine bar. Nephew Tommy is asking everybody about their days. Joy lets them know about Clifton and how Clifton was not here for the exes, but he held it down. He did very well. You know, he just wasn't his thing, but he handled it very well. Dakya said, you know, he was really being flirty in front of the ex, and she was enjoying it. You know, we have a strong physical connection. So then we see Ace talk about her date with her ex and how he was really giving her great insight and all that kind of thing. Tina talks about her date, how Demetrius might be too destructive for her, but Paul might be a good one. Carmen said that he likes Donovan more, but, you know, it's ultimately her decision. Because I think Carmen likes Paul more. And then Sabrina said that, you know, her ex was in favor of one of the D's, and that's all she's going to say. So Sabrina is smart. Sabrina is playing this game very, very well. Okay. 2 reasons why. One thing, she don't show all the women her cards. She said, I'm just going to say one of these, and that's that, because she don't want them to, like, start doing something extra in the competition. I like the way Sabrina's playing this game. She's not showing all her cards to the other women. I like that. Also, I started watching the latest episode, and I seen when she went on her date with Tory, she brought him a gift. I was like, oh, she doing some different stuff. Okay, she gonna keep all the men interested in her at all times. I said, go on, Sabrina. Teach me the ways, girl. Okay. Anyway, But we'll get into that when I get into the next episode, y'all. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, okay, we see you, Sabrina. We see you. So then ladies all talk about their days, talk about who's in their top and all that, who they feeling. And then next time it's okay, who we not feeling. So Laverne's name was brought up by Sabrina, Tina, and Carmen, I believe. And Tory's name was brought up by the ladies, by Carmen as well, and Joy. Joy said Carmen and Demetrius right off the top. She didn't stutter. Okay. Dakya is not feeling Laverne as well. Joy feels like Tory's energy changed after the whole Truth or Dare game, and nephew Tommy asked Sabrina, like, do you agree with that? Because you're kind of the reason that happened. And she was like, yeah, but I mean, he's not that, hurt about it because he went and kissed somebody else to get back at me. And she explained how, like, he went and kissed Precious just to, like, he, like, did all that complaining, like, oh, you gotta, you hooking up with Demetrius, and you could have told me, you did this and that. But then he went and kissed Precious just to, like, get back at her, and she doesn't like that. It's very immature. So when I first watched this episode last week, y'all, I just knew Tory was going home. I knew it was up to Tory and Laverne, but I didn't think Laverne was going to be the one. I thought they really not feeling Tory more. So I actually was shocked. I mean, it was past time for Laverne to go home, but I was shocked that Laverne was the one going home. I thought it was going to be Tory. So for the elimination days, Dakya takes Tory on a date, and Sabrina takes Laverne on the date, which is also very interesting because Sabrina's the one that had the connection with Tory. So you would think Sabrina would be the one to talk to Tory because she has more insight about why his energy changed. She's the reason. So I thought that was very interesting, right? So then we see, Dakya's telling Tory, like, yeah, the ladies all met, we feel like you are very open, you handle things emotionally well, and you do this, and the women talk today. And so she's telling him, okay, on the other side of town, we see Laverne and Sabrina at the bar. Laverne is already sitting there. Laverne comes in hot, heated, y'all, hot. So he said in his confessionals, already I'm coming in here heated because I heard that the ladies are doing a plan to try to get rid of me, so I'm already mad. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. So then Sabrina comes in, she tries to give him a hug, he dabs her up. He's like, So then she's like, oh, okay, we just dabbing today? And then he's like, yeah, I don't hug people who I'm not their friend. And she's like, wait, what? We're not friends? Like, what? And then he was like, yeah, I don't hug people who don't like me. And she's like, what? Like, we agreed. Like, what's the problem? And he was like, yeah, I heard about your little plan. Who was it? You, Dakya, and Tina. You guys wanted to get rid of me, so I'm not about to give you a hug. And she's like, what? Like, we didn't have no plan to get rid of you. Like, what are you talking about? All I want to do is greet you. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to greet you. And he's like, well, tell me the truth. Did you have a plan against me? And she was like, no, I just told you we didn't have a plan against you. And so then he was like, well, you're lying anyway, so I don't believe you. I'm like, why you going to tell her to say it and then you going to still call her a liar, first of all? So then let's get back to Tory Dakya. So we just wrap that up and stay on Laverne, right? So then she's like, the ladies are talking and, we feel this and that, but you're still ready to love. Okay, so, and Dakya saw, and Tory said, I take everything the women say and I want to apply it, I want to grow. And she's like, that's growth. And she was like, okay, I'm looking at Tory differently. I see a different side of him. So Tory gets to stay. I really thought he was going to get eliminated, y'all. I did. So anyway, back over there with Laverne going cray. So he over there talking about, I know y'all had a plan. Well, talk to your friend Precious. Precious is the one that said y'all had a whole plan to get rid of me. Y'all wanted to get rid of me. So I'm like, dang, like, did Precious really say this? Like, are we gonna have to wait to the reunion, or do we got some interviews? Like, can we get the word from Precious? Like, Precious, let us know. Precious, let us know. So, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't think Precious would do that, because why would she have that much of an issue with the ladies? But there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. I initially didn't think Precious would do that, but the fact that they got rid of Laverne before Tory so easily did alarm me. But Tory is more emotionally available and more ready to love than Laverne. So no, No, I don't think Precious did that, but we'll see at the reunion. My final conclusion is I don't think Precious said all that. I don't know where he got that from, but I don't think Precious did all that. I don't think. Why would Precious have a loyalty to Laverne in that way? Like, why? But let me know what y'all think in the comments, because that was a mess. So anyway, Sabrina and Laverne is arguing, going at it, and she was like, no, you need to apologize to me because you disrespected me and you did this, and he's like, I didn't apologize to you, I disrespected you, like, you started cursing at me, because Sabrina started cursing, and she was like, you need to really grow up, you need to get over yourself, like, no one's thinking about you like that. She was like, the thing with me and you is I just didn't feel nothing romantic towards you, but we're still friends, but no one's trying to, like, plot against you, like, we're not thinking about you like that, like, basically, you're not that important for Sabrina to be conspiring to get rid of you like that. That's what Sabrina feels. So then they just arguing back and forth, and she storms out. She's like, you need to grow up, you need to get over yourself. And so then the producer's like, don't you want to apologize to her? And he was like, nah, she didn't apologize to me. She will start cursing at me, yelling at me. I'm gonna apologize. So then he said, because he was pulling a David, like, you was about to tell Laverne he wasn't ready for love. He's like, I already know, y'all come up here and say I'm not ready to love because y'all trying to get rid of me. And I mean, he was going off. I was not expecting all that. And so then the producers was like, well, now that you're off the show, do you want to still pursue your connection with Ace? And he kind of said, yeah, real quick, like, slipped it under the rug. But he's like, what it is, it happens. I've been dating for 44 years and I haven't had any luck, and whoop-de-woo. And I'm just like, first of all, you ain't dated for no 44 years. You didn't date as a baby, sir. So you haven't dated for 44 years. And he's like, it's just gonna be cool, me and my dogs. Basically, he gonna just be with his dog, I guess. I'm like, Laverne, bye. Laverne, bye. You showed your whole ass in this episode, number one. Number two, you proved the lady's point by your behavior. It was so ugly and distasteful. Like, I know nobody wants to be told they're not ready for love. Like, if I was on the show, I wouldn't want that moment to happen to me either, but it's part of life, it's part of growth. And the fact as a man you couldn't handle that with grace and class just shows a lot about you. Like, when the women do it, I'm like, I understand a little bit better, but they also need to be better with it. But like, when you did that, like, that was just as bad as David. Really, he was just as bad as David for me. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about that episode. We see, and then the next episode, they're gonna be meeting the friends, conveniently feeling Donovan her best friend. So we'll see how that's gonna go. I started watching that one. I'm gonna finish it, and I'm gonna do the video. Gotta do Love and Marriage Huntsville as well. I will see y'all soon. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.